Now we have the pulse variation.
If you're tired of being censored on social media, join 6zeros.net. It's black owned, black operated, and black moderated, and we make sure it stays a safe space for us to talk about all things black culture. We also got some cool gear like the FDM cotton crew neck, the Fearless Ancestors tee, hats, and more. Check us out at 6zeros.net.
Hey girl, why are you so sad?
I just got banned from Twitter again.
Should have been on 6zeros.net. Ah.
All right. All right. Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially. And we are here again for a midweek report. So hopefully everybody is doing well. You can hear me, right? Right and good. Make sure. Hopefully everybody can hear me good and crispy and clean. Yeah, we are here for another midweek report. Yes, indeed. And you know, it's around a holiday that I don't necessarily celebrate, but A lot of other people do, but sometimes people put on outer spirits. But and sometimes you always have to maintain your inner spirit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Entertain that inner spirit. For those who know. Oh, yes, indeed. So again, y'all seen what we are talking about today. We are talking about Kanye West. I wasn't sure how I was going to address this. I was thinking about doing it as a podcast, but I figured, why not just do it as a live? And it's clearly necessary to do as a live because, when I thought about it, I was like, wow, Kanye West's reality versus what he thought. See, he thought he had a different reality, but reality never changes. And he's now getting that wake-up call. And see, the truth is looking at him like this. What did you think? But, so we're going to get into that. And then, of course, it almost the same thing with Brittany Griner. She's in that situation over there looking at 9 years. People are now trying to say she's falsely detained. If that story would have worked for so many black people over the last 30 years, that'd be great. Considering how the president that's sitting in office right now is the one who facilitated that whole situation for a lot of black folks over the last 30 years. So, there's that. Now, like I said, we'll be getting into that. But again, you have people looking at her saying, hey, how did you go over to another country knowing the rules, not thinking about the consequences of the rules? Well, because there's certain privileges that certain people could think they get because they participate in certain lifestyles, and sometimes reality comes crashing down. Yeah. That's sometimes what happens. Yeah. So, like I said, let's see who we got in the chat. Oh, Lord. Looks like, okay, let's see. We have Amaria in the chat. Peace and love, Black First family. Judah Queen in the chat, Black First. Black Jack 21 in the house. M. Flournoy, welcome. Brooklyn Queen 125, welcome. Brandon Cruz sings, what is going on, my brother? Teacher attempted CPS napping there. All right. That was awful. Yes, indeed. All right. Be Real 777. Welcome. All right. He said that's swollen Martin Pick. Gotta keep it fresh and right around here. Keep it lively. And sometimes we have to let the petty kick in. Oh, you know what's going on? I'm like, man, there's something missing. I don't have the slide on. There we go. Let me get that light on. All right. That looks a little better. Like something's wrong. So let's see. Where do we need to go first? And as y'all coming in, please like and share this broadcast. Also, double check and make sure that you are still subscribed to this channel because they've been doing that a lot. Unsubscribing folks. So just please double check and make sure that you are subscribed and share. And if you are watching the replay, please hit the like button. Even if you're watching on TV at home, you can do that. You can watch and use your remote. Hit the up button or pause and you'll see the options and you can go ahead and navigate that like button and give a thumbs up and put us pro-black content creators into the algorithm right here on YouTube, and you can say you were part of making it happen. You know what I'm saying? Got to be part of history. And that's what we are doing here. We are all part of history. So I hope y'all understand that. You know, don't expect for those people to tell you that you're making history, because they're busy trying to prevent you from achieving that. You see what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I have a few things, to say about the whole Kanye West thing, and I think I will probably take some calls tonight as well. I think it's being used as a convenient distraction. Of course, we know that this is, again, the midterms, and black male voters, all of a sudden out of nowhere, are the talk of everybody, or the center of everybody's conversation now. Now that some of these polls are coming in from the early voting, things are becoming very clear. And we're able to set a tone for setting our own narrative, because for so many years we had the Roland Martins and the Joy Reids. These people do not represent our interests. They don't represent our neck of the woods. They do not give a crap. You know what I'm saying? For for lack of better words, they do not care about how we end up. They are clearly okay with letting us falter. Now, with that being said, the Democrats now are worried. They are worried. But not just the Democrats. Those people who benefit from the Democratic policies, they're worried too. Have you noticed that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Iranians are protesting, the Haitians are starting to protest? Have y'all been noticing that? Like, out of nowhere, everybody has an issue to protest about all of a sudden. What was very telling, though, when I say Sister Juicy Genius, when she was out there in Atlanta at the reparations summit, the Iranians brought their plight right to the doorstep of the black struggle and saying, we're minorities too. Like, you're coming over here to say, here's our struggle. Let's join struggles while we're talking about reparations. When they're talking about a woman who broke their law over there about the whole head being covered thing, that's their law over there. That's not, we could feel what we want to feel. And see, that's the whole thing about Brittany Griner. I look at that a few different ways, because I know I live in Portland. So I'm in the Northwest, from San Francisco all the way through here. There's dedicated areas to, especially in Seattle. There's a whole, you'll know when you're in this neighborhood in Seattle. It's marked. And when I say it's marked, I mean it's marked. You will know where you're at. But see, when you're catered to like that, so tough, you think that everybody else in other countries get down the way America does. And America pretty much is like, screw the black man. So that's life. So it's so funny when somebody chooses to say, well, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to deal in this community and make this so important. When they get in trouble, the very first thing that they do is start bringing up black men. Like, well, wait a minute. This woman's out of the running of black men. Now, don't get me wrong. I know lesbian black women. but I'm not going to be the first person of a line of defense for whatever they got going on. No, I'm my wife's first line of defense. Whoever they chose as a partner is the first line of defense for them. That's how that works. You know what I'm saying? Troy Ali, Black One, Black First, salute. Yes, indeed. Who else? Oh, Yella Cat, welcome. Hey, sis. Black Alpha Network in the house. I see you, my brother. My brother's in the house. Aboriginal woman, Shalom. Yes, indeed. So yeah, and again, if y'all was in our space yesterday, me and Black Alpha, by the way, we're talking about midterm madness. All of these things are happening in the midterms. Are y'all noticing? Matter of fact, I'm gonna be uploading that space sometime between now and the weekend. So, but I have a question about that. I'm gonna upload that space. I want to know, do y'all want one of the late nights? Because I do know, like, I got some of y'all late night riders out there, and then a lot of my rewatchers out there. What would be a good time that y'all would want to see a replay of a space? Because I noticed that y'all tend to rewatch, but the hours are like all over the place. So, I mean, I know I got some night riders, and I noticed when I tried to put a video out before. Well, actually, I didn't try. I did. I put a replay up in like the middle of the night, and y'all was all up in the chat like I was there. It's like, I know I ain't in broadcasting at 3 my time in the morning. Yeah, Black Alpha Network said yesterday's space was fire. Yes, indeed it was. Because we had to talk about the demo agent mania. Yep, demo agent mania. And we're seeing a lot of things going on. You're seeing all type of people hopping out. We even had a time-wasting troll hop in our space, and I guess she was going to go through her usual routine of time wasting. And, that's nothing new for me. So it's like, okay, I just want to see where this person is. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to be one of these people that go back and forth with this person. So I'm going to give you an opportunity, and I may or may not ever let you back up again to speak in my space because you already thought that this was some other kind of way. Okay, we'll go play with them then. That's how people need to start treating folk, to be quite honest. Don't let people play with you. No nonsense. Oh, okay, you didn't get it. All right. Thanks. And just like I said, here, let me go ahead and see if you can follow instructions, because clearly you need to be up under something. I mean, seeing people going back and forth with all these people. I ain't going back and forth with no troll. You're an organization. Notice when people come around and start coming in a conversation trying to dictate what and identify what things are. First off, you take that back to your zaddy. I'll tell you what things are here. See, that's the whole. That's where the conversation begins. Don't let nobody come in here and tell you what you is. See, I'm not gonna have to read. No, we're just gonna start at the point of the truth. This is how we're identifying it. If you can no longer function in the furtherance of a conversation in this setting, well, then I guess you got to cut you loose. You understand what I'm saying? I'm a musician, so I mean, coming from either you can play the note or you can't play the note and somebody else will. So we won't waste time to sit up here. I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. There's enough crash test dummies up there. See, the one thing that when you're testing cars for safety, crash test dummies are plentiful. Only thing they need to do is be marked so you know which dummy is which. Here's the one thing that's kind of interesting about what's happening right now, especially with all the demo agents. A lot of smart people are getting caught up in the trash heap with all the rest of the crash test dummies. Word to the wise. If you've already experienced crash dummy behavior from an individual, like it's always been said, if a person shows you what they are, believe what they are. Now, if you get burned after that, then that's on you. Only thing I can ever say, there's no such thing as a black hate group in the United States of America. Anybody saying that has have to have lost their minds. That's serious business. Do you hear yourselves when you say this as a black person with melanated skin? That you're calling another person with melanated skin a hate group for anyone outside of your group? I think people need to start really listening to thorough men. Not loud screaming women, but thorough men. Not buckethead, pocket watching haters, but thorough men that know what keeping it thorough looks like. So if somebody tell you, yeah, I don't know about that. See, we're not looking through the emotional lens when we look at other men. We're looking at a man through an examination glass, an examination lens of what it should be. See, it almost seems like a lot of people they got caught up on that, what you used to see on Instagram a lot of time. And well, this is what a real man would do. A real man will let you know what time it is for a real man. So if you believe that you were in the position to even designate the standard of that, you were incorrect. So I do understand that this is a new kind of experience for a lot of people. It's kind of different to me because I'm used to this. I grew up with individuals like this my whole life. I'm like, well, damn, y'all, this man deprived around y'all that you believe petty behavior is becoming of a man? Oh man, what that dude doing over there, man? You, man, yo, really? I mean, I come from where dudes would say, "Hey man, what you worried about what that man got? Why don't you go get you something? You sound like a hater right now." And guess what? You got to eat that versus. But see, we're in the world now. Oh nah, man, nah, because you see, and now you explaining away. That's again. And we have created this endless cycle of bitch-made women, bitch-made men. And all of them just confabulate with each other to the point to where the one that ends up having the most sack in the crew is the damn woman. Because you can't tell me ain't no man. Well, I'm going to tell you right now. Ladies, you see these men that can't sit up here and say, hey, ma'am, this is right or this is wrong. That is not marriage material. He ain't going to defend you for nothing. Thorough. I can't stress that enough. Thorough. The whole pulling paperwork thing. I know all about that. I'm going to say it like this. I already seen, and somebody shot me the headline. I seen the brother going on on a random tangent. Here's the thing. And this is why I say demo agent mania. We're seeing black men hating on other black men over reparations when that brother wasn't even in the conversation. So why is he so invested at this failing? And anybody around him, ask yourselves, why are you so invested? Nobody said he touched anyone, but having the permanent SO registry means SO. There's a difference when somebody say that. So when a person jumps to, oh, he said that I was touching kids, blah, 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 blah. No. The paperwork say what the paperwork is. And as a person that understands what being a good dude is versus not being a good dude, again, thorough. Not some weak following behind a woman ass, tell you nothing. Now listen to a real man to tell you something, that know a little something, because we done lived a little something. Around them areas to where people that you might think have validity do not. But we know the difference. So we stay in our lanes. Because reparations and empowerment is the most important thing. Reparations and empowerment are the most important things. Do me a favor and count back to 10 from when I just asked that question. And you tell me how many times or how long did it take you to already make an excuse why I was wrong? That mirror right there for you. Anybody want to talk to me? Let me know. When I see foolishness, I will let it be known. And I've seen absolute asinine foolishness about nothing. Wasted intelligence on bickering bullshit to manifest more beef. When being charged and being one that should ever be held responsible in any regard that words would hold value, we'll take our tongues just to whack down another individual that looks just like us from our own tribe. Until we can get that part done, I don't understand how anyone can tell me that there is a division when you can't be together with your own. You are a damn hypocrite, all of you. And all of you in the way of empowerment. Because you just care about what someone else is doing. Except for the system of supremacy. So just like I said yesterday, and I ain't gonna repeat what I said today, but if y'all can't figure that out, refer to the space, please. Back to the message at hand. I'm telling you, we need to be done with foolishness. There's all this asinine BS behavior over what? This person don't like that person. This person don't like, they said this, they said that. Who cares? I cannot imagine so many adults running around like middle schoolers. Before the world at that. Y'all do realize everybody is watching. All of our opposition is watching. Don't hit me up to explain about a damn thing. No, this is absolutely wrong and foolish. Wrong and foolish. Just like Kanye West. It's almost like there's a spirit or air going around that says, hey, let's, instead of driving the car, like my brother says, you're handing your keys over to Toonsis the cat. For anybody who's old enough to remember Toonsis the driving cat, go look that up and see how it always ends for the people that let the cat drive. Don't get me wrong. Petty drama, that's cool. Consistent drama is a soap opera. Are we about empowerment or are we about entertainment? That's why you don't see me in a lot of spaces. People have mentioned my name that aren't worthy of my attention because they don't really have anything to say. That's the whole point. When people got to go out of your way to say, hey, this is what this person is. Huh? Now, trust me, there are insecure people out there that would be like, okay, how does he believe this? I don't give a damn about what this idiot thinks. Because there's so many things that, like, if I just gave a quick evaluation, man, please. You want to get mentally disrobed? Okay. Let me know. Telling y'all absolutely looking foolish out here. But I will tell you this. There's always room for correction. And one of the greatest things that can be done is not cross the wrong one. Because again, we are out here about this empowerment. Some of us are very serious about empowerment. Some of y'all are serious about entertainment. I guess whoever watches all of this needs to figure out the difference. But I'll tell you like this. You ain't going to see no one else's name that is not an entertainer, not a new black media personality or a grassroots person. I'm not putting their name in no title. Well, I'm calling myself about empowerment. Why? Because that looks foolish. The one thing everybody will say, well, they can't say it about me because Beatzilla speaks for Beatzilla. And anybody that ever tries that with me understands how fast they'll get their ass cussed out. Don't ever put that on my jacket. You better put me and my words on me. Now, with that, there will be issues that people ain't gonna get along, and that's fine. I don't understand why the personal in-house beef that really isn't beef. So to me, this is how I look at it. You care about being more of a problem against reparations and empowerment than anything else. And so then my question has to be, why? What is that about? So when we say demo agent mania, That doesn't necessarily mean that a person is employed by the Democrats or the Republicans. What we are saying is the Democrats are actively working to undermine us. There definitely shouldn't be anybody in the grassroots trying to do the same. That just kind of sounds silly now, doesn't it? When you really think about it, it just kind of sounds a little silly. I will say this. I can deal and understand a lot. But and I could, give words of advice. And I'm kind of getting a little stingy with that because people tend not to listen to me and tend not to take my advice. So I'm kind of getting out of that game. So you ask me, what do you think? I don't know. One thing I will be able to tell anybody, if you're around anyone who records phone calls, that is always a potential weakness for you. You got to know the energy. And I think one thing that everybody can say about me is, damn, he's right. Good grief. Ooh, Lord. Yeah, just you know what? Yeah, you're right. That's all it needs to be. No more, no less. You're right. So, back to business. Like everyone else should be. We are focused on our tangibles and our reparations and making a wave. Here's something else that's very noticeable because this is something that so many people have been deprived of. Knowing and remembering that Black men actually exist. Not all of us are getting down like Billy Porter. Some of us actually are well built, you dig? So, solid and thorough. And now the world is taking notice. Shout out brother Jojo. He tagged me in this on Twitter.
Early vote in Georgia. It was only 31% at this time in 2018, so more African Americans are voting. But Democrats are concerned because in the early vote, which usually favors Democrats, primary Democrat voters are only at 32%. Republican primary voters are at 34%. So what you can tell from the early vote so far is Republicans are beating Democrats, and Democrats are freaked out about that.
So under the observers, we're seeing very strong turnout by Black men, 22 and 20. What you're seeing on screen here is the total turnout as of 2 days ago. So, we get the information every day and we'll bring it to you. But this is the most recent total turnout, 837,000, in person 758,000, absentee 78,000. Those numbers will continue to go up. The point there, Sean, is that people are voting.
That's right. And Bill, the Black male vote is up double from this time in 2018. So people are coming out to vote. It's just that Stacey Abrams does not have a message that's resonating with the Georgia voter, right? This is about the economy. It's about inflation. It's about crime. And African Americans are moving away from these very progressive woke policies that have made their lives worse. And Kemp is striking a chord on those issues. And he's winning across the board. So again, Stacey Abrams, it's not about voter suppression. It's really about a message that doesn't work at this time in American politics.
So just to wrap this up, you're saying that she's laying the foundation to make an argument whether she wins or loses.
Well, that's what she did in 2018. She made millions of dollars off of this national campaign to get more people to be able to vote, less restrictive voting rules, which again, just is right for fraud bill. She's going to keep that argument alive so she can continue to make massive amounts of money, get really wealthy off these false claims on American elections. And again, it incites people, it divides people. And again, we want everyone to have the easy access to vote, but we also want to have secure elections. So when your side wins, you know you won. And if you lost, you go home and fight another day. You know you lost because the election was fair. If you don't have rules in place around who can vote and what the requirements are to vote, like again, show an ID. I know you are who you say you are.
Sometimes I'm feeling all alone. Sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy. Nobody understands me, but I'm trying to get the world to see it's love. It's love. Had this passion he's instilled in me. That's why I'm at it so hard, so faithfully. I've been through so many things, please believe me. I'm still All right, let's see if we are back. Hopefully we are. I don't know what the hell happened. I literally had to shut down, restart, and it took forever to come back up. I do not understand at all. It's never done this before. Amazing. Amazing. Oh, Lord. All right. Let's get back in here. So let's get everything set back up how I had it. Boy, oh boy. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the music at least. Good grief. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the music. That was super weird. I've not experienced that at all ever on this computer. Insane. Absolutely insane. You said you did. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And man, telling you. Let's see, where do we need to go first? Let's finish where we were at. When my mic went out. StreamYard, y'all need to figure that part out. I don't know what's going on with that. Why can't I play a video and then my mic not cut out?
It was only 31% at this time in 2018, so more African Americans are voting. But Democrats are concerned because in the early vote, which usually favors Democrats, primary Democrat voters are only at 32%. Republican primary voters are at 34%. So what you can tell from the early vote so far is Republicans are beating Democrats, and Democrats are freaked out about that.
So one of the observers, we're seeing very strong turnout by black men. More black men have voted early in person in raw numbers in 2022 than 2020 or 2018 at the same point. What you're seeing on screen here is the total turnout as of 2 days ago. So, you know, we get the information every day and we'll bring it to you, but this is the most recent. Total turnout, 837,000. In person, 758,000. Absentee, 78,000. Those numbers will continue to go up. The point there, Sean, is that people are voting.
That's right. And Bill, the black male vote is up double from this time in 2018. So people are coming out to vote. It's just that Stacey Abrams does not have a message that's resonating with the Georgia voter, right? This is about the economy. It's about inflation. It's about crime. And African Americans are moving away from these very progressive policies that have made their lives worse. And Kemp is striking a chord on those issues and across the board. So again, Stacey,
that was an important part. Progressive policies that made their life worse. See, with no Donald Trump present right now, and none of these other people have a Donald Trump. See, hating on Donald Trump was a typical talking point until they had to run their own campaigns and no Donald Trump was around. Look how that worked out. Everybody who did that and basically got everybody else elected and got votes for everybody else. Yeah, no boogeyman Trump there now. And they're all their campaigns are tanking. Raphael Warnock is losing right now. Stacey Abrams is losing right now. So, the proof is in the pudding. Oh, Bernie Sanders is on his way out here to Portland. Yeah, literally. So we've had, let's see, the president, Joe Biden. That was last weekend. Then a few days ago, we had Elizabeth Warren. Also, over the weekend, we had former President Obama. Obama chimed in to give a vote for Tina Kotek. The ads that they're running right now which Tina Kotek is the Democrat who's running right now, what they're saying is, I like Betsy. Betsy is the independent who's running. Now, what they say is, I like Betsy, but if Betsy's in the race and I give her a vote, I don't think she has a chance of winning, and then we'll just be stuck with a MAGA governor, and we can't afford to have a MAGA governor. Half of this state, if not majority of this state, truth be told, is MAGA at heart. This is Little Dixie of the Northwest. Just cut it out. You've learned how to mask your white supremacist ways by the guise of being liberal. Let me tell you, oh, hell no. A lot of people come up here and they be like, oh, yeah, I thought this was cool. Yep. You learn a good, harsh lesson. Up here, like, oh, okay, you know why a lot of people leave from up here and go back down there, because the harsh reality of that never be accepted thing, it hits like a ton of bricks when you hear in, the utopia of all these white folks. I just never been around all of these good white folks before. And then they let you know what it is, and but still while being nice to you, but like, yes, basically you're our pet Negro, and and you're one of the family. That's how they'll treat you on the job. Yeah, right. Gotta know them. Come on now.
It's not about voter suppression. It's really about a message that doesn't work at this time in American politics.
So just to wrap this up, you're saying that she's laying the foundation to make an
Trump
argument.
Trump is holding the rally in PA.
Well, that's what she did in 2018. She made millions of dollars off of this national campaign to get more people to be able to vote, less restrictive voting rules, which again, just is right for fraud bill. She's going to keep that argument alive so she can continue to make massive amounts of money, get really wealthy off these false claims on American elections. And again, it incites people, it divides people. And again, we want everyone to have easy access to vote, but we also want to have secure elections. So when your side wins, you know you won. And if you lost, you go home and fight another day. You know you lost because the election was fair. If you don't have rules in place around who can vote and what the requirements are to vote, like again, show an ID. I know you are who you say you are.
And that's funny too, because remember how they were all stomping about the voter elections and voter elections, and they're over here in the rights and voter rights and this and that. Well, you got what you wanted. You had, you successfully got what you wanted. But I mean, that's what's so crazy about it. Like, you literally got what you wanted. Boy, these Democrats is taking it on the chin. So it's not that these rural people had an issue voting. They just not voting for the Democrats. And now you're seeing it in mass numbers. So you can't say voter suppression about anything, because black men got out and voted more than 2018 and 2020 in the midterm. Get out and vote. Y'all gonna still hollering that though? I'm just saying. See, when they went out there and now they're by the numbers telling you, and all of a sudden these polls that are, I guess, just appeared this week that are saying, oh yeah, black male voters are voting their interest. All of a sudden, this is the conversation. Imagine that. Like, yeah, man, they're not really worried about abortion, and they're not really worried about you know, all of these other non-issue things for black folks. And here's another thing. Reverend Al was out there talking about, yeah, and black folks, and when I go to the churches, who? Oh, boy, you don't stop. When you go to the churches, that is not the street, brother. Is this it? Hold on, let me make sure I got this in there. Like, what are you talking about, Al? Is this it? Yeah. I just saw something else. As I'm loading that, I saw something else I need to show y'all. Hold on, let me make sure this ain't got no. I gotta make sure this ain't got no music in it though. I mean, just to show you what the Democrats are displaying right now as a means of trouble. Hold on. Wait a minute, let me try it again. Now all of a sudden my browser having trouble sharing. Hold on. Boy, there's multiple dancing politicians here lately. What's the deal with that? Okay, so now it's an issue doing that. All right. I guess we're going to have to go this route. Let me try it this way. Huh. So now all of a sudden, the studio is acting a little different. Okay. Well, I'll have to try that again later at another date. So let me go to Reverend Al. Let me go to Reverend Al and hear what he's talking about with crime. Because that was, I found that pretty interesting. Like, hold on. You know, you found a way to get back into the conversation of funding the police. I'm not going to defund the police. I'm going to fund the police. Right? Ain't that what he said? So, you know, I'm going to fund the police. Well, okay. Let's see what Al is talking about.
Saying that when you go and talk to people, crime's at the top of their list of things that they're concerned about. And now there's a poll that you and I have been talking about that actually proves that black voters are concerned with crime and think.
Now, first off, do you understand how treasonous this is for Al Sharpton to do? Now, when black people and black voters are talking about crime, we're talking about we need a anti-black hate crime bill, a protection bill for black folk, foundational black Americans to be specific. Now, all of a sudden, Al is going to start going into this. Well, it's being softball set up by the, of course, the PC man, the mainstream handler, and he's curtailing a conversation, which of course is not ours. Because notice how the perspective of the black, especially black man, and the black voter and the black community is coming out the mouth of a non-black man. Why? So Al can validate the agenda from Satan. So let me go ahead and get down to what he has to say.
There actually need to be, I know this will shock white woke people who live in Park Slope, but black voters actually want
woke people,
more police officers. Rev, explain.
I think that what is being misread is that
You ain't never heard, there ain't no black folk, no group of black folks nowhere that said we need more police officers. What black person is saying that? And like I said, Al is absolutely treasonous. So, you know, who was it? Was one of my subscribers like, I like that old what y'all say, y'all like the Moses generation? This is that Moses generation. See the thinking? He's not thinking about you. He's thinking about that man right there that definitely ain't thinking about you. I ain't feeling that. No, we need to be new. This is a new day, new way. And that right there, that ain't it. No, that's, oh, yes, sir, boss. I'm going to get some. I'm going to get some in line, boss. Okay.
There is a misreading of wanting criminal justice reform and police reform, and in wanting proper policing, and as crime spikes in some areas, even more policing. We just elected a black policeman, the mayor of New York, and he had overwhelming black support. So I think that, again, the latte liberals are talking to the guy that gives them the syrup in their latte and not talking to the people that they claim they speak for. You need to speak to them. I can go in any church, and I preach in churches every Sunday, and people are saying, I'm concerned about crime in the neighborhood, my house being broken and cars.
If that doesn't sound like 1992, what don't? I mean, what will? This is exactly this is crime bill again. This is how you set up the crime bill. Here's the black preacher. See, what we got to talk about now is what Democrats want to do now. So what black folks at the black church is saying that they is afraid of walking down the street, getting hit in the head and have a super predator come and attack them and vandalize their cars and vandalize their house and break into their home. What? Huh? See, when you hear crap like this is why people, why don't folks come to the church no more? Do you hear this, Negro? And he just, see, that type of selling out your young is treasonous. You putting a target on other people's back. Well, you know, I mean, please, we got to learn how to get along with them. Oh, golly.
Carjacking. That is not
carjacking.
These are blacks talking about blacks, and it amazes.
Whoa. Oh, yeah. Do you see what he just did? He told you all these different elements in crime, and then we talking about black people. So you understand that this is not catering toward a black audience, right? This is a dog whistle saying, hey, those Negroes asking for tangibles, demanding justice, and that other bill that we've can find ways to give to other groups, but not this one. Yeah, that one. So hey, let's say when they're talking about a crime, anti-hate crime bill, let's spin it and just say they're talking about they want more police. And then we'll get Reverend Al Bobblehead out there to go lie and say, yeah, that's right. When I'm in the church, I'm speaking and I preach it because I preach in the black church. I mean, I ain't talking about the man that puts syrup in your latte. Who's paying tithes at the church, Reverend Al? Huh? If it ain't the dude putting syrup in people's lattes, who else is that? I mean, unless you're talking about them preachers that's balling out of control with private jets and whatnot. Because all the rest of those folks are ordinary people. I guess he be hanging out with old Bishop Whitehead. I bet you could probably find a picture somewhere around. You probably find a picture with him, Bishop Whitehead, Don Magic Wand, and Donald Trump.
Amazes me how we allow these people to get on platforms and talk for people that they never talk to. This poll said,
Negro. See how they do? Okay, so this is the spin. You know, how do they get on platforms and talk for people that they've never spoke to? Let me just run that back real quick. See how he just worked that. Now, number one, he's up here. The like I said, the PC man gave him the talking points. Now Al is using them to spin a narrative that ain't nobody out in no black community. I play drums in a black church. I know plenty of black musicians. I ain't never heard this line. So what the hell is he talking about?
go in any church, and I preach in churches every Sunday, and people are saying, I'm concerned about crime in the neighborhood, my house being broken and carjacking. That is not racist. These are blacks talking about blacks. And it amazes me how we allow these people to get on platforms and talk for people that they never talk to. This poll said clearly that they are not for defunding the police. They are for using funds to train police, to reform policing. And we went through it in the Obama.
Damn, that's dirty. Did you see what he just did? Okay, so he tells you all the different crimes. Those are black folks talking about black folks. No, they were talking about crime. Do you mean to tell me that all those older black folks that you're talking to at church are only being victimized by black criminals? Because that's what you just sold. So he definitely ain't catering to black audiences. You know, so you know when they say they want to get those Biden Republicans, you hearing dog whistle talk, because all he did was just wrap crime up, wrap black folks up in a little boxing bow, and say, here's a gift of crime. There you go. All of these different things you can put on black folks. And yep, old black folks at the church so saying all of these young Negroes out here just scare me so much. We just need more police. I just don't feel safe on the street. I mean, this is what we talking about. This dude is literally selling our young up the river to put targets on their backs. This is the same type of rhetoric or damage that calling other foundational black Americans a hate group does. Did we just learn something here?
Years. Nobody knows better than Jim. They wanted Obama to lead the black movement. I said, we've got to lead it to Obama. He's the president. And I think that we have this misappropriation of roles in American politics that we need to be very honest about. And people can attack you and I for talking about it, Joe, but I won't shut up, and I've got to hint you won't either. Had
every other candidate runs back by their base. And then they promise their base tangibles. They are, so he's talking, well, yeah, we have a misappropriate. No, we don't. No, we don't. See how they're trying to, man, okay. This right now is, you're at the position where you have identified that you're being hustled. You have told them that you recognize they're trying to con you, but they're still trying to hustle you anyway. That's what this is.
A focus group of black voters in Philadelphia talking about how crime was a top issue for them. They were afraid, they said, to go to work. They were afraid, they said, to come home. And yet, we actually had people on Twitter and other activists saying that we were racist for showing a clip of black people saying they were scared of crime. Well, Reverend Al Sharpton is saying the same thing. Well, the polls were saying the same thing. What is this denialism? I mean, how do these activists, woke activists, know more about the fears of black voters than black voters themselves?
They don't.
What's wrong with this picture? Yeah, what's wrong with this picture? Why are they talking about our business without a black man on the screen or a black woman? The optics of this just doesn't really sit right with me. What about y'all? I'm just saying.
And they're a very small piece of our party, but we're...
Now let's listen to that again.
Is this denialism? I mean, how do these activists, woke activists, know more about the fears of black voters than black voters themselves?
They don't, and they're a very small piece of our party, but we're listening to them, and we're starting to be worried more about what they say than normal voters. It goes back to what Al said, which is you actually have to go to these communities and have these conversations. And look, I'm going to get barbecued on Twitter for this, and I don't care one bit. The fact is, Democrats got to lean into this issue and actually have a plan and not deny that there's an issue. Yes, details do matter sometimes. Yes, the crime rate in blue states is less than red states, and we got to say that to the world, and we don't, and it drives me absolutely insane. On the other hand, these voters don't feel safe, and unless we have a plan and go straight at it and stop worrying about 10% of our party that is super great on Twitter and sucks at knocking on doors, then we should just absolutely... That was a good day. Right, and I'm going to get killed for that one too, and I don't care. Like, this is what we have to do, and we got to stop listening to a very small minority of our party. We had this fight in 2020. Joe Biden won it, and so Democrats just got to remember that and steer into it and stop worrying about this other BS.
Well, I would have to ask, what part of your party are you talking about? What woke activists, what woke Democratic activists are on Twitter? I mean, you know, that almost sound like they talking about property. Because what woke activists on Twitter he talking about? Woke activists on Twitter. Who? Who you talking about? And that's just a small segment of our party, but people are listening to him. Wait. Segment of your party? Did you hear that false representation right there? I think you mean the blacks. Woke equals FBA. Absolutely, Blackjack. You already know. You already know. Now, because truth be told, but here's what's so treasonous about that, is Al puts all that crime all on FBA's back. And then said, well, that's black people talking about black folks. So saying, yep, see, Al said it. And this is, I mean, man, here, prime example. Here's some crime. Look at how people are treating this so differently.
Hallo. Worauf Sie kommen?
Menschen hungern, Menschen frieren, Menschen sterben. Wir sind in einer Klimakatastrophe. Sind Tomatensuppe oder Kartoffelbrei in einem Gemälde? Wisst ihr, wovor ich Angst habe? Davor, dass die Wissenschaft sagt, dass wir 2050 unsere Familien nicht werden ernähren können. Braucht es Kartoffelbrei auf einem Gemälde, damit ihr zuhört? Dieses Gemälde wird nichts mehr wert sein, wenn wir uns um Essen streiten müssen. Wann ist der Punkt erreicht, an den ihr hinhört? Wann ist der Punkt erreicht, an den ihr hinhört und nicht einfach so weitermacht?
Ja.
Now, these people are spending, they're breaking the law like crazy. You don't see that as much money as that Monet costs. You have heard very little of this in the news. Why? Simply because the mainstream media does not want to promote any non-melanated individual doing something so heinous, which is at such a high dollar value. Because again, the same people over here that, of course, support war everywhere else are so upset at a uprising in 2020. And then, of course, considering how, the alleged or suspected involvement of outside agitators suspected by Soros affiliates and such. And subsequently, Black Lives Matter made a ton of money to go fund, assist, and help fund Joe Biden's campaign. So literally, the George Floyd protests were catalysts of getting Joe Biden elected. He stepped right on over that body now, didn't he? And now you got black folks even debating over that. I don't know what the hell Kanye was thinking, but I'm going to get to that in a second. Nonetheless, though, remember, don't ever give anybody your keys because you might end up in a situation like this. Bad advice to get you like this. Oh, Lord. Oh, my goodness. Afro Elite in the house. I see my brother Tori and Rain Reloaded in the house. Black women stand up. Maxwell Jenkins, dark-skinned brother. Phantom Pete, I see you. Oh, man, I had to do a whole restart in the middle of this live. But at least I had the window up on something else, so I was able to at least keep the stream going. So we are back. Yes, indeed. Like I said, it's that time of year that I don't really celebrate. But people put on they masks on the outside, and sometimes you got to put on your mask or let your spirit shine through from the inside out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, if y'all ain't seen that, y'all ain't never, man, go check out JD's Revenge. JD Walker's Revenge. Oh, my Lord. Let me see whatever I got next here. Okay. Did y'all see? Okay, here we go. It won't let me get this in here. I don't know why it won't. I think this is what I wanted to get. Just 1 second. Did y'all see that Asian woman that was the racist Asian lady? I'm sure there's probably more than her out there, but I just found that pretty interesting. It's like you're seeing more and more of these situations popping up. You know, that they got an Asian hate crime bill out of nowhere. And then when the statistics actually came out for the last couple of years, well, it was an uptick. Yeah, it might have been an uptick in their numbers, but it wasn't even like a 36th of the black number. So it's like, for that to be high, and you know who was even worse? The alphabet community. Well, not even worse. They had a little higher number than this group. So it's like, oh wait, all of that I would have to call it overhyping, considering how we I guess victim you. We outnumber you in victims of anti-black hate crimes or hate crimes. I don't see how we would be sharing any kind of moment with anyone at that point. You know what I'm saying? That just sounds crazy to me. Speaking of sharing moments, sometimes we gonna have to hear about and from these people why we can't share more moments. And y'all gonna have to understand, like I said earlier, learn how to tighten up the relationships within your tribe first. If you can't do that, that's on you. But understand, when I see a reparations hater, I believe that they hating on reparations because of where they know their lineage comes from. So, they come from like Dominican backgrounds, then you can't really expect anybody like that to say, oh, well, I'm cape out for reparations. They don't have to get in the way of it, but you wouldn't expect them to be at the forefront of the movement saying, yeah, reparations. Well, you ain't getting none. Yeah, but I'm rocking for these guys. You don't see that out of these other groups. And, the Pan-Africanist movement, and I mean, maybe somebody might break that down one day. I don't know. That ain't gonna be me, but I would say it like this: the Pan-Africanist movement has a lot of Latin-born individuals in it that they're not FBA, but they found it like. But here's another thing about the influence of our culture. Our culture was so dominant, especially around the early 90s. Half these dudes was Afro Latinas, but they weren't. They was Afro Latina at home. They was being one of us every day on the street. So we saw, we all saw that a lot. If you from that time on the train in NYC, black women stand up. Not me, but oh yeah, it was so disgraceful. Level of hate got tight. Oh yeah, on the train. Yes, indeed. NYC. Yes, indeed. Sharpton ain't got nothing to say about that. Well, he can't. And see what he just did, that video, he made sure to wrap up crime, like, because again, they can't make us the face of crime verbally, so they needed a mascot to go do that. And old bobblehead, we got out there and Well, you know, these are black folks talk about black folks, and they're afraid to get carjacked and their houses broken into. And you see, this is black folks talking about black folks. See, at the black church, I'm talking. Stop it. So he goes to put the black church in it. And you know, I still preach at the black church. Oh, see, that was not about black people at all. That was a dog whistle code language for the Biden Republicans to say, hey, you know, we're gonna still get up and get some billy clubs upside some black folks' heads now. You know, come on here and get this vote. But again, also remember why we can't let everybody in on our goods and our cut and our check. Because we have, like I said, with this Pan-Africanist movement, and you have all them people that are not foundational Black Americans in it, but they found a way to make $1 off of Black culture. Now there will be some camaraderie and say, hey, well, yeah, we all melanated and we go back. Okay. Do you understand why there's such a harping reason on getting over the conversation of your ancestors being here in America? Talking about slavery. Do you remember when people were like, yeah, man, I hate talking about slavery. Yeah, I bet you do. Because when we talk about reparations, you ain't getting none. Y'all ever remember, man, say they trying to have us relive it. Shut up. Just go back and think of all of those people who used to run that line on you. Man, they playing another slave movie, man. Man, why they playing another slave movie and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the reason why they don't like that. Because who was the foundational Black American that was hating on roots? I'm tired of this. And it's a fictional thing, but it's, you know, it's a story loosely based on what we did. And they had a gang of them movies. Matter of fact, Mandingo and, you know, it is what it is. But, you know, the one thing we know about the real stories, of course, by oral tradition, if you had family members that passed that down. So there's certain things you should know as a foundation of Black American. So when I hear somebody say, oh, man, he's just trying to always have us relive slavery, man. Yeah. All of a sudden, you ain't heard no one say such a thing. Now, man, I'm FBA too. Okay. So here's a little group of people, because there's another thing about culture. And here's a reason why we have to guard our culture. Because we have people like this who look like us, but carry a disdain for us. Check this out.
And ladies, thank you so much for joining us, for joining all the women here, all the men here, also joining Essence here. Last year, we began this panel with a simple question. And this year, I want to ask us the same question, each of us. What does it mean to be woke in 2018?
I always encourage people to use their voices, because a lot of times what happens is people feel like these problems are so big and beyond them, but it can't just be where you're expecting the Tamikas to do something about it, right? Because you're like, I'm cheering them on from home. But then what are you doing to contribute to the change in your daily life?
Give the warmest welcome to our warrior, Danai Gurira.
Right now, my main thing is property. Like, I feel, again, money equates to time and space. I feel literal space, tangible space is real estate. That's why everybody gets bread and starts buying property. I want to have something that I could have forever.
Well, I guess it's a human thing. So, you know, when you put a piece of clothing on, it makes you move in a different way. It makes you move differently, makes you stand differently. So we'll take Celie, because everybody knows Celie, Color Purple. So when
she won the Tony for playing Celie in The Color Purple on Broadway. Yes.
first.
No.
We'll talk about it later. Never mind.
She's just not getting it back.
For 50 years, Essence Communications has served Black women deeply, and we continue to do so by encouraging and equipping us for more than 30 million Black women who call Essence home. This beloved cultural institution and cornerstone has protected, promoted, and personified sisterhood.
You're watching Essence Now. I'm your host, Makon Jovu. Now, American folks may not be familiar with my next guest, but she's a huge star in South Africa, and she's poised to take over the U.S. market next. She's also the host for Essence Festival Durban Hello, which happens September 26th through October 1st. Please help me welcome actress Nomzamo Mbatha. Hey, sis wam. Oh, see, this is how, it's so nice to have someone from
Right?
because we can say
we're
hello.
going to need subtitles, though, because everyone at home is like, huh?
Exactly.
Now, just think about this, like we always heard the 5 Negro rule or the 3 Negro rule. You can't be more than 3 Negroes gathered together or there's trouble. They allowing them to come over here and come plotting, plan. Who they plotting and planning on? Oh, we're going to come over here and take over this market. Well, they're obviously not taking jobs from white actors and actresses. You understand what I'm saying? Ooh, that's going to be too hot. So, yeah. You see the steam out that junker. Burn my mouth. Hold on. But you see what they talking about, right? You know, they're comfortable with the idea of, I don't know. Replacing. See, we have this thing that we want to ignore what that is. But that's what that is. And when a person seems that comfortable about it, well, they obviously feel comfortable for a reason. Maybe it's because they have a little bit of assistance. I mean, you do have an enemy in this country that never really cared for you. And who's advocating for them to come here right now? Lo and behold, the same enemy. So, So that same enemy, lo and behold, funding all of them, giving them money to run media empires that used to be known as a foundational Black American entity, an institution of Black thought and relating to Black people. And now all it is a ode to Africa. Proudly. So you got Essence, and what they're doing with Essence is basically sticking a big giant middle finger up at foundational Black American culture and history. And I don't know why people can't see it that way. Because when, Kanye could say what he'll say and everybody goes ballistic. I don't know. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Black woman stand up said, thanks for sharing this. None were foundational Black Americans. No, none of them. And so think of this new move with the teal thing. They doing it again. Even with the iron, what's that girl? I cannot remember the character's name, but she's gonna be one of the new Marvel characters. She wears a suit like Iron Man. So they got them another African. She's gonna be in Black Panther. So they're segueing into her too. So, wow, you doing this all over again, huh? Interesting. Lord, you know how they do us, though. They just don't give a damn about us. Just give us anything. Here's Till. And I've seen some different things about Till. I was not impressed. At the same time, they want to bring people over here. Hey, let me show you something. Because these are things that we'll never do. You ain't never going to see us doing nothing like this. Watch. This is in Africa. And that is a Chinese man with a African who is proud to be a caddy for him. Lord. If they'll do that for a Chinese man, how much more for a man who represents Jesus to him? So you know how they look at us. I mean, I don't know how you can't see that. And that's not hating anyone. Anybody who, now there's educated individuals who have been around black folks all their lives and have experienced different things. So they know different, yes. But if you have somebody talking to you like, well, no, I have never heard of such a thing. No, they don't do that around like where I'm from. Stop. Stop it. Yes, they do. I mean, man, please. Like I said, I mean, it's so bad. Like there's a situation, like I watch travel vloggers as well. And I some of the travel vloggers were in Turks and Caicos. They was at Turks and Caicos at Margaritaville. And there was a dude, I guess, obviously he looked like a local, working at the bar. And he was working at the bar and he was ignoring all of the foundational black Americans there to go help everybody else. Now, nobody had an attitude. They sat up there and waited. Some waited over an hour to get a drink. Some waited over an hour and a half to get tended to. And then there's other folks who are just walking right on up and getting served. This black, or this, well, I can't even call him black. This Turks and Caicos indigenous individual, he really had an issue with foundational black Americans and then acted like he got two sisters mixed up. It's like, I don't know why you even trying that one. It would have worked better if they were not black. But you're not finna sit up here and tell me you so far gone in being a dark-skinned black man from Turks and Caicos that you can't tell the difference between two sisters with one whose hair is completely different color than the other. They were colonized first. Stop the lies, Troy Lee. Absolutely. And see, that's what we talk about, that colonized mind. They, they are completely defeated. All the wind are out of their sails. They don't have no fight in them. Okay. Here's another thing. Take on somebody that won't fight. Now you want to be a fireman? You know how the training they got to do to be a fireman? You got to do the dead man carry up a ladder. You like volunteering to do a dead man carry, doing that. Why would you do that on a debt that is already owed to you? That's like self-sabotage. Well, it ain't like self-sabotage. It is self-sabotage. Again, like Kanye West. Lord. Let me see what I got here. Oh, man, I want to get this other video in here. I got to show y'all this madness. Because y'all going to look at it and be like, oh, the mammy of it all. But nonetheless, I still can get you your mammy fix. Have no fear. Mammies are here.
Year being in office as governor, you will actually be able to accomplish? And how will things look different? Aside from the fact that you being there is going to look very different.
I will look a little different.
Yes. Oh my Lord. Oh, the paintings in the mansion are going to change. Yes.
Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal. All the paintings in the White House going to change. I mean, snap them fingers in the governor mansion. You're going to be having greens and macaroni and cheese. That's how it's going to change. I mean, this is I would assume that was supposed to be a serious question. How is it going to change when you become governor? Well, first I get the governor mansion. We're going to be changing a lot of things over there. We're going to be changing the picture. Huh? This is how you campaign? Like I told you, when you have white Democrats pulling out the old line that they was running on us in 2020, like, oh, well, it's better than Trump. I don't care if it's devil himself. It's still better than Trump. Right now, this is how they're doing. So they're throwing, well, man, okay, these people aren't even Republicans anymore. They're just MAGA. It's like, did she say she was MAGA or did she say she was a Republican? Because right now, have you recognized, like, I'm in the ads that are running in your local area, when they refer to the Republican candidate, do they even mention the word Republican? Or is it just MAGA? MAGA, because here is like, if you can't throw out the gaslighting word or the trigger word MAGA, then your commercial's worthless. A weave with no wind. Says she gonna have a weave. Judah Queen. Oh man. Dang it, I can't get this video in here. Why the hell is that? That is weird. Let me see something. Maybe I'll just try another way. Let me see if this is another thing I need to play for y'all.
Today, you've drawn a line now, but what did take so long?
I don't know. I mean, he's black. And
so you can be racist if you're black? We're down with that?
And you can't be anti-Semitic if you're Jewish either.
I mean, to clarify a few things, like, you cannot be racist as a black person. You can be prejudiced as a black person. You can be prejudiced against many systems. You can be prejudiced against the systems of oppressions that are against you. But like, racism is a system that exists for a certain person, which is a white person who already has the power to condemn, to oppress, to literally affect your livelihood. So it's like, I understand what
I'm just curious, family. Why was this one the best representation of black men? Well, you have Al Frank in there, he's tainted, but he's back on TV. It's all good. I'm just wondering, like, why was that the direction that you went in? Just curious, you know. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I'm just saying he's. I mean, is he? What does he advocate for? Because, you know, I get kind of leery when I see things like this. It's like, well, wait a minute. This is where you went? Because this is what kind of issue is this? I'm confused.
We're going with this, but it's like a black person can't be racist, right? Like a black person does not have that type of power to will that type of thing. Now, what those things should have been called out when he said that, you know, slavery was a choice. When he was making
2013, 2015, 2018, when he became a billionaire.
Right. When those things were happening and he was still climbing up using that rhetoric, that was when those things should have been addressed.
When truthfully people like me allowed their children to get Yeezy sneakers. That is an ugly truth, right? I didn't do anything, but what did I do in the last few days? Spoke out against anti-Semitism. So what does that say about all of us? What have we been desensitized to?
Maybe George is playing speak.
See, I'm seeing different angles about this whole Kanye West thing. It's like I said, it's a convenient crap storm. And it falls right in perfect timing. When everything is in disarray, especially the Democrats. But even the Republicans. Like, you got people jumping ship left and right. You got all kind of people having to come to town to stump for the Democrats here, which is absolutely unusual. It's unheard of. You've never seen anything like that before. There we go. See if I can get this one in here. Okay, I don't know why this video, you know what? They must have put a glitch in the video or something. Have y'all seen the Sheila Jackson Lee video playing the little, she's literally playing it on her, I don't know what that is she's playing. They won't let me put that video off up in here for some reason. But you know what? I did actually find a video I've been looking for. I knew I had it in my computer. And check this one out, because I know y'all remember this, because this is a thing with politicians. They lie. Here's the problem with new black media and the grassroots. Camera phones don't.
Hey, excuse me, I'll talk to you right quick. How you feel about us getting reparations?
I'm sorry?
How you feel about black Americans getting reparations? You said no reparations?
And there it is. I don't know how you guys thought I could have said no to reparations. I just didn't. Stop. Stop it, Stacy. Miss fix inflation by deletion. How genius. How genius. Let me see. Bear with me. What's up? Oh, real quick. Hopefully this will upload. Cross your fingers, family. Cross your fingers. Oh, come on. Come on. See, y'all know the familiar names. Y'all know the familiar names and may not understand the familiar faces, but and of course, who also had their hand over Google at one point in time. Check this out.
Young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, half of this cabinet, are actually young leaders of the world economic forum. We penetrate the cabinets. The change is not just happening. The change can be shaped by us. We have to prepare for a more angry world. How to prepare? Take the necessary action to create a fairer world. I see the need for a great reset. So people assume we are just going back to the good old world which we had, and everything will be normal again. This is, let's say, fiction. It will not happen.
There is only one way this pandemic is going to go. It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
The next crisis is already waiting for us around the corner, and it is the climate crisis.
That man is Klaus Schwab. One of the men that you probably never hear of that often. You know? Probably certain you probably don't hear about him that often. But, you know, when people talk about Soros and this and that, meet the individual who Soros would have to confer with. Y'all remember my first weekly wrap-up where we introduced you to Teva? Yeah, there you go again. So, you know, remember where that and those people are from. I saw that name recently. I bet you did. Matter of fact, I think they had a lawsuit. Yes. Yes, indeed. Parent company of all those other companies, but also make knockoff medicine of the other companies to which they own, meaning they own both the brand name and the knockoff brand. Soros is Vega, Schwab is M. Bison. There you go. Now here's a little tasty piece of homework if you want to go do that. Go look up the history of Chemical Bank, and it will take you to the origins of Chase Bank, JP Morgan Chase. And you'll be able to figure out what Alexander Hamilton's hands were doing in those early days while they were setting up their wicked system and blowing through free black lands and clearing those out because they didn't want to pay black folks for the land, and reclassified a lot of those folks as Negroes, and back down to the South they went. So yeah, human trafficking, ooh-wee, boy, it's American practice. Not just the slave ships, but the free Negroes that you hoodwinked and shanghaied and then snuck them back on plantations illegally. Yeah, that part. Eugenics. That's right. Wicked as hell. Now, with that being said, I wanted to show you that because remember, Kanye West has been down with them people for quite some time. He been down with the establishment. And I wouldn't say that he is ignorant. Well, yeah, I would. I'd say he was ignorant because he believed these people had his back. And they're showing him like, no. But see, I gotta wonder. See, living out here, there's no mystery for me. So I mean, I know what I'm dealing with off top. There's other folks that have not been in a place oversaturated, I guess, like this. So let me give you some insight on the mind and the rationale of a suspected white supremacist before we go forward talking about this. Because, see, I understand how people like Kanye West get lost and they be thinking, man, no, not everybody, ain't nobody like that no more. Okay. This is a interview about the people of January 6th and how people are looking at them. Check this out.
He was photographed breaching one of the restricted areas. Is that okay?
Which area? Because I saw a video where Capitol officers were taking away barriers and unlocking doors. People. So, I mean,
they opened the gates.
So it shouldn't be disqualifying for an elected official if they participated in January 6th?
He didn't strike anybody. He didn't hurt anybody.
And the only one that died was a protester there, not a Capitol police officer.
Unarmed female veteran was
That's
shot
the
by
only one that
police.
died.
That's the only one who died.
A police.
Wrong. So there was there was nobody, just an unarmed protester.
Oh, officer did die.
No, it was a stroke.
That's not
on site.
Caused by that. That's because
Right.
he shouldn't have been a police officer. It was one woman.
So
was
what do you make, though, of
Man, okay. See how they backed the blue? Did you peep their backing of the blue right there? Yeah, they really got the blues back, huh? Shouldn't have been a cop then. Shit.
overall of January 6th? I mean, it was, watching that footage, it was pretty disturbing. I mean, there were people throwing excrement at the walls, and it was it's the Capitol.
It looked a lot like Antifa's actions to me.
Except on a much smaller scale, it looked the same.
The
as
deflection, you gotta love it.
That's what I saw the similarities to be.
Minneapolis burns, Kenosha burns.
But so it's okay.
I mean, and family, like this, what you hear right there, this, do I have any Portland people off up in here? Are there any Portland people in here? Man, this is every day for us. Like this, I'm glad that this exists so y'all can see this. Don't you think for a second, oh no, like, stop it. Don't stop lying to yourself. Because you're dangerous to me if you do not believe what you're seeing. Well, ain't nobody, you hear the excuse that they making for all of that, what they talking about? But they really try to make emphasis on the unarmed protesters. I bet you if you ask them about the unarmed protesters in Kyle Rittenhouse's case, I bet you they would say they got what they deserved. So I'm just giving you a real, and these are the people who will be on your jury.
Okay, just because one side that you disagree with,
I'm
it's
saying
okay
Antifa infiltrated.
It's good for one, it's good for the other.
Anybody
I don't
who
see it
harmed
that way.
anybody who caused property destruction, that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah,
but if you're
on
there
either
making
side.
your voice heard at the people's house, no less, that's, again, it's a fundamental constitutional right of an American citizen, and people should not be being held political prisoner because of it.
You hear what he said? He said, so if you want to pull up at somebody's house and protest at somebody's house, that's your fundamental right. That's what he said. I wonder why the energy switches up. I mean, see, it makes perfect sense for what he's saying right now. See how he doesn't understand it? This is what I need y'all to understand, black folks. Because black folks be talking to themselves and amongst themselves like these people do not know what the situation is. And that's absolute BS. I hope that's why I'm playing. Can you understand? And this is what Kanye West never got through his understanding. He went from broke, working around other people who were trying to get on, got up under Jay-Z, who you seen how his loyalty worked out to the people who he came up with. And, the rest is history. Everybody's doing successful things in their own lane. Here's where the problems come in at. Understanding that you'll hear these people talk like this because this is the crowd that he's hanging around, that whole Candace Owens crowd. You're a black person hanging around people who think and talk like this. I have to wonder where your head was as a black man altogether. This is nowhere to be around, nothing to be around. Say nothing to be around. So if you're going to put yourself in company like this and then turn around, like they don't hold steady to nothing but dub ass supremacy. That's it. They gonna lie, steal, chill, kill, destroy to achieve maintaining the system of demonic supremacy.
Misdemeanors. That's East Germany.
That's East Germany.
Tactics.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
It was a...
Now listen to how they invoke the Nazis.
Destruction that needs to be dealt
when they're
with.
the Nazis.
You're there making your voice heard at the people's house, no less.
Yeah.
That's, again, it's a fundamental constitutional right of an American citizen, and people should not be being held political prisoner because of it.
For misdemeanors. That's East Germany.
That's East Germany.
Tactics.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
It was an actual fiery but mostly peaceful protest. And the other ones that were the opposite.
Was the protest legitimate in your eyes?
Administration,
because...
I feel like, is using it as their Reichstag fire.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're using it as.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that President Trump could have quelled the violence that day?
Not him personally.
I don't think so, no.
I don't think so.
It started while he was still speaking. I was actually there. I was there to see what I thought was going to be the last time I ever saw Trump, little did I know.
So did he tell everybody to go and start rioting?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, and it actually, I stayed for the whole speech, like a ton of people did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all headed to the Capitol because he said, let's go to the Capitol and peacefully let our voices be heard. And we get to the Capitol, we're like, what the hell's going on? 'Cause it had already happened.
See, look at Susan. That's just a younger Carolyn Bryant. Shout out to that great American hero. G.I. Joe was there. Pop. Oh, shout out Ashley Babbitt.
Pretty sure I saw Democratic operatives instigating people to cross
totally.
barriers.
You were there that day.
Yeah.
Now he said he's seen Democratic operatives that were definitely there that day. Oh, but none of them were there during the George Floyd protest. Huh? It was all these unruly blacks that we just need to do something about this crime, and everybody's soft on crime and defund the police and crime. But now listen, there's a whole storming of a Capitol. Treason. Live and direct on national, international television. And he's eating myself here, lying ass off.
What do you think?
No, I mean, why would he tell people to do that? Why did the people who did that not wait around for him to tell them to do that? He said that around the end of his speech, if I remember correctly. It happened before he even said that, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I think the timeline, didn't he speak? Because he was back at the White House and then he tweeted. So he
yeah, but
tweeted.
after
People were still there.
And stuff, yeah. But it started while he was still speaking. And they talk about the fact that, oh, he didn't do anything for this amount of time. It's like, well, he was giving his speech and he
Why
didn't
did
even know
Nancy
about it.
Pelosi deny his request
Actually, we have
several
some
thousand
National
Guard
Guards.
troops?
Yeah.
Well, it actually isn't in Pelosi's power
But
to
it was
deploy
his
National
to
Guard.
offer
Well, she's
them.
Speaker of the House. She has no authority over
But-
that whatsoever. And frankly, I think that's a good thing.
But even so,
Isn't
if
she
there
in
was,
charge of security?
If there
for
was
the
that great of a
Capitol, though?
risk that she was
Isn't
offered
she in
them,
charge of security
then why
for the
didn't
Capitol?
she
anything.
preemptively beef up Capitol Police,
Right.
what she does have the authority to do?
Capitol Police are there.
But apparently they were taken off guard.
Yeah.
That's enough. I'll play of that. I just want you to get a good understanding of here's where the hell he went wrong in the first place. You put your trust in that. Yeah, you were aiming to lose. I mean, I look at anything like that tell me you want to lose. You keeping that type of company, bruh? And then come out saying the foolishness that you said. My goodness. He said, stand back and stand by. And this dude was hugging this dude. It's all falling apart, man. Do I have that in here? I mean, it is all falling apart at the seams, baby. Oh, where is this nut? I got this cat in here talking. Oh, there it is. Oh, Lord. I don't know what this dude was thinking, man. I do not know what he was thinking. But let's just hear the idiocracy of this dude, because see, he thought that all of this meant that he has now been accepted. Not understanding anything. Not understanding a damn thing. Now, let me go ahead and play this, and I'm going to comment on it after.
Go to, Hawaii and live a nice life. That means that God has called me to sacrifice all of that in order to bring the truth. That's what I'm saying. They don't cut my check. You listen to people that's getting their check cut by Jewish media. George Soros, come and meet with me directly. I told you, you ain't gonna send none of these people that you usually send. Charlemagne, we know all the names.
Lord. Really, brother? Really, brother? And let me just play it one more time.
I got my songs. I could go off and just go to, Hawaii and live a nice life. That means that God has called me to sacrifice all of that in order to bring the truth. That's what I'm saying. They don't cut my check. You listen to people that's getting their check cut by Jewish media. George Soros, come and meet with me directly. I told you, you ain't gonna send none of these people that you usually send. Charlemagne, we know all the names.
Adidas said, nope, we own everything outright. He ain't got his name on nothing. The people here looked up the patents because, Adidas office is here. So when Ye was doing his business deals, he had to come here often, just like everybody else does. Because, Adidas and Nike does not come to you. You come to Portland. But nonetheless, the local news went ahead and put a call up over there. So yeah, here's the patents right here. Now, his name ain't on nothing up here. Now, I don't know what type of business deal he got with Adidas to where they can just put you out and they own, like, you don't have a percentage of the stock. Who worked your deal? Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods have whole buildings out in Beaverton. Like, the Jordan brand is its own building on the Nike campus. And so is the Tiger Woods building. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting that, man, I don't know who made your deal, but one thing is for certain. When you pulled up to that building and saw that big-ass shoe, you should have understood, oh, this is the business that they are in. And look at this big building. Used to be a hospital. They turned that thing into an office. Not just only that, but you could actually see the office on the other side of the river, on the other, where their other factory store is. So, man, goodness. On the other side of where the baseball stadium is going to be. Jeez. Exactly. LeBron has his. Yes, indeed. I do. I'm not sure if LeBron has a building out here, or maybe he might. I'm sure he probably does. And then, of course, Damian Lillard is, I believe he's Adidas. So then those are, again, it's all local business. It's all local business. However, it's business. And I almost think he acts like he had friends in this thing. And the one thing that, like, you got with a Kardashian, she's in the business of reality TV. Ain't their show still on? Y'all realize that you've watched her go through all of her marriages on her television show? With absolutely no talent whatsoever. You've seen people's careers come and go in the time that Keeping Up with the Kardashians came on. I mean, man. I mean, wasn't that on like around the same time as being Bobby Brown? And like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy and things like that. All them shows is around the same time, right? Maybe I got my timelines mixed up, but I thought all that stuff was on around the same time. None of them spoke in his defense, Rose City 93. Absolutely no, they did not. It's the Kardashians. Now they have a new season. I mean, just don't go away. Oh, let's go see what Kim Kardashian is doing. And then their syndication. So they got syndication forever. So that's where he banked it. A family that was looking to totally establish themselves as a business. Then the part that I ain't going to play is when he was on Drink Champs. Because for those of y'all, I'm sure y'all have heard it and most of y'all have seen it. So I won't bother to play it. But the one thing that he was doing is trying to go into a lot of, he's mixing conversations and then trying to present it as if, like, yes, this is what it is. And I'm a Christian and you an Israelite, you a Christian.
Let's just do a show of hands. Who thought
that out of here? Didn't mean that. My bad. Let me get that out of there. You're a Christian. You were but the part that he mentioned, and that's one thing I think that might be another issue, because he's also talking about the Soros thing, but he also mentioned the fact that the Clintons were involved in trying to get people jabbed. See old Hillary Clinton popping back up. See, right when it's time to get jabs, you seen old Hill. What a coincidence! Yeah, what a coincidence. Now, keeping up with the succubus, right? Oh, yeah, like. And that's kind of basically the whole situation with this guy. You know, he is being immersed within the system, and he thought that that's where he was going to be able to exist. He is not really talking too crazy yet. He is talking crazy enough for them to do him and like basically finish him off financially. But he hasn't said anything dangerous. He said things that could piss people off and they'll just use him to run him to the dirt. He hasn't said anything dangerous. Now, what will be the interesting part to follow is if he can financially obtain rights to something that he should own that doesn't currently own, and some other entity owns it. That's when things might become dangerous. Because I want y'all to remember something. For all of you who think, well, man, I think he has a plan and he has I don't know about that. I think he's mentally unraveling from all the things that he's been around and probably from some of the things he's experienced. He's not the first person of that ilk to have mental issues and conditions. Not at all. And especially, you add in the substance use and allegedly or potentially. You add all these other factors in. Then you got all these other people around you pushing you this way, pushing you that way. And then you got other stuff just to keep you on schedule, which your schedule could be enough just to be a stress on your body and your spirit. But the way that they're doing him right now is they are making an example out of Kanye West. And Kanye West is probably the biggest. Well, I think they're going to put no ads on this one tonight. So this is the lesson, because I couldn't title this that, of course. But understand, Kanye West's reality versus what he thought is simply this. You still a nigga. Now, I could have just titled this that, but understand. I would have been getting dinged right off the rip. But yeah, nonetheless, that's the situation of the matter. Things don't change. Some things remain the same. And that leopard, that wicked leopard, has not changed its spots. So he thought it was all good, thought that he was in and thought that he was accepted. This is what every Democratic shield or Republican shield or zaddy-loving, self-hating individual out there needs to understand thoroughly. From the bottom to the top, that system that they're all caping for right there, they understand where the bread is buttered. So just put it in your mind. Would you be willing to give that up? And if you had it, would you sit up there and act like it didn't exist? The only reason why people act like it doesn't exist is in front of you. Because then they'll go back amongst themselves and just like my brother Black Alpha always say, they'll hop right back in that car and start calling y'all all kind of niggas. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the case. And I'm not saying every white person is a white supremacist or a racist. That is not what I am saying. But I am saying every white supremacist is a racist. And every racist white supremacist is a enemy of ours. So, because it's already established that they are an enemy. Why? And here's another thing. When people also go back into the conversation of what's what, remember this. Race was mentioned in the Constitution when they first started it. So to say, well, certain things are unconstitutional, wrong. However, the way that Ketanji Brown Jackson is trying to do it, y'all need to keep an eye on her. And notice how they were trying to have her go over there, start mucking it up, while the dude was trying to get a stay and prolong the proceedings in California. Don't miss that timing either. See, Kanye West is not out here talking about anything else. Kanye West is pulling a Byron Allen to me. Unfortunately, he's just losing. But because nobody was around him to kind of game him up to let him know how to go about things. But truth be told, I kind of look at it as a Byron Allen thing. Like, and it's very selfish. It's a very selfish thing that he's doing. I don't wish ill on the brother, but man, all that stuff that a person does and says about their own people, I don't believe it should be so easy to walk that back. And for me, I don't need you to be around me. Because at the end of the day, doesn't a person that thinks like that and is subject to just go off the rails against their own, aren't they dangerous? At least that's how I see it. Nonetheless, he got that wake up call, didn't he? So he walked into the Skechers building. They escorted him out. Nobody is rocking with Kanye right now. But let's remember, unlike mostly everyone else, he was invited into the world's elite circles. Why do you think he's even talking about George Soros? See, most people, when they don't understand how to move and shake and operate, he has, like I said, he hasn't necessarily said anything dangerous yet. I'm waiting for that to kind of fly out of his mouth, and it's probably about to come soon. I just want y'all to remember something, though. It's not a chess move, because remember last time that this, well, actually probably not last time that this happened, but one of the most memorable times that something like this happened was May 25th, I believe, 2009. One person named Michael Jackson. He told the world something. He mentioned the same thing subsequently that other people have also mentioned about controlling certain things. Here's again what I tweeted last week. If there is no certain group that holds any certain control or controls everything, then that means that there would never be enough power able to muster to shut him down. So Kanye West should be all right, huh? And a week later, Yeah, just a week later, Adidas pulls out. I don't know why he even put them in a position of feeling dared or daring them in the midst of pressuring them publicly while public pressure is against them. I mean, none of this is strategic. And you got a whole bunch of people out here, man, I kind of see it like he doing this as a plan. Huh? If I see a person dousing themselves from head to toe with gasoline with a lighter in their hand, I would assume they also have a plan. Do you then say it's a good plan? Well, it depends on what he really trying to get across. Okay, and then now you're talking stupid. And we have too many of them out here. It depends on it. No, it doesn't. You could see it's negative. Call it negative. We don't need to sit up here and, well, if you look at it from a negative, then it'll be a positive. There's too much of that. That's the plebiscite babble. Actually, that's that when you start going down the road, that's down the road to plebiscite island. Straight up. But Mike did it from a position of power. Ye did it from a position of weakness. Blackjack 21, facts. And that's something I hope people understand. Like Michael Jackson did it from a position of power. So what happened? A month later, they shut his power off. So this is what they're doing to Kanye. Like I said, that's why he didn't say nothing dangerous yet. For Michael Jackson actually did. Like y'all remember when Chappelle was on the Oprah interview and she told him, be careful. That's a real warning. And that's just saying, make sure you keep your words in the same parameters of order, per se. Be careful. Because them folks is watching. You better believe it. And they watching everything he's saying before he go too far off. Oh, the platform, you will be absolutely shunned. Oh, you know what? Hey, Vlad, DJ Vlad, man, right now is the time, DJ Vlad. You should do an interview with Kanye West right now, DJ Vlad. I mean, man, you upholding hip hop and the moral standard of hip hop and all. Man, you and Fat Joe should definitely be at the forefront. Fat Joe hosting the hip hop honors. Fat Joe, why don't you interview Kanye West, bro? Represent hip hop, brother. I mean, y'all pioneers and all, man. So go ahead, pioneer that, brother. Yeah, ain't no Latino takers. No Latino takers coming. No, nobody won none. Go ahead and go get your man. Fresh and fit. Why don't you go hit him up, man? Hit your boy up. Go tell him to bring Kundis too. Yeah. Oh boy. It's going to be interesting to see how all of this shakes out at the end of the day. But I will say, we have watched his involvement with the system and the powers that be from whatever angle that is. This cat done went from wearing upside down crosses and Baphomet and all of this devil worshiping shit he wearing all of these gear, all this clothes, right? Now he's a Christian and he got the choir and he's singing gospel music and he's the 12 tribes of Israel and he's Jesus and he's like the dude who was at the party in Hollywood and Satan spiked his drink. So he been hallucinating ever since. I'm the greatest, I'm a genius. Yeah, okay. But you can't figure out how to keep yourself out of talking yourself out of billionaire status? Like this dude talked himself out of billionaire status. Talked himself out of billionaire status. How the hell do you do that? That is like Craig from Friday. You got fired on your day off. And you went from genius to pariah in less than a week. This is the importance of holding fast to your community base. We may not be the flashiest. We may not be the richest. But now you're learning. We will always be the realest. And now Kanye has to learn that his reality versus what he thought simply means all of that you can do in the public eye, when it come down to it, you are still just a nigga to them. And that is why we need to demand tangibles. That is why we are in the demand for reparations and a protection for our people by way of an anti-black hate crime bill. And even more so. So again, that's where our focus should be. That's where my focus is. I would hope that y'all would join me into the conversation and the pursuit of justice and empowerment for our people. And if that is not for you, then that's okay too. We just got to sit you on out the way. But you know, it's better to be out of the way than to find yourself into being a position of being a problem. You know, because again, certain movements, they gonna move regardless, you know, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not. You know, some things are just meant to be. And like I always say, when they're meant to be, things just have a way of taking care of themselves. So with that being said, a real quick commercial break before we get ready to get out of here. I was going to take some calls, but then I lost about damn near a half hour of the show with whatever was going on with either StreamYard or my computer. I still don't know which the problem was, but nonetheless, here is our commercial break. Be right back.
Hey, what's going on? This is Tariq Nasheed, and I am in Washington, D.C. right now at Freedom Plaza. This is the location where we're going to have the FBA Rally for Reparations on Saturday, November 5th, 2022. We got Dr. Boyce Watkins, Teslin Figueroa, Riza Islam, Professor James Small, Dr. Kaba, so many phenomenal people, and many, many more. This is the most important rally that we've had in modern American history, because this is the first time that we've gotten together as a group collectively to come to the powers that be and demand specific tangibles for foundational Black Americans. You don't want to miss this, ladies and gentlemen, so be here. Freedom Plaza, Washington, D.C., November 5th, 2022. For more information, go to rallyforreparations.com. That's rallyforreparations.com.
Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic got to say. I got them picking up the pieces.
right. I see that Rose City 93 said, "Ooh, damn, they might be coming for that catalog, just like R. Kelly now." Ain't it funny how when people be getting their rights, getting all they stuff that they worked hard for and made popping, when they actually get full control of it, all of a sudden it's like, ooh, like winning the lottery and, oh man, I won the lottery. Oh, it's the number. It's the big one we hit. Oh. What are the odds? I'm just saying. I mean, it happens that often. And then you got the white artists, the rock artists, boy, they just be living it up. Boy, they go out there, play their old hits. We're going to release our greatest hits. They're getting all the chips from that. Don't owe nobody nothing. They getting all of it. I'll never forget doing I did a wire for, who was that? Was that Motley Crue? I think it was Motley Crue. Yeah, so I did a wire back for Motley Crue because I was sending them their deposit for a show. And so the deposit, well, actually, I had the payments, so I had their payments set up. So the deposit is $250,000. This was back in the late 90s, like mid to late 90s. So I did Barry White too. Now that's what taught me. I learned how the scale was. So they were getting, actually it was $275,000 for a deposit, and then another $300,000 on arrival at the venue. That's how much they were making for 4 people. Now, granted, everything else that they make off of that, or for what they do, they pay their staff out of that overhead. But remember, they make their money on their merch because they own the merch booths in all of those venues when they go touring like that. So they're also making money hand over fist on merch. But Barry White's wire came through, and it's $125,000 for a big old orchestra. So now he has to pay all of those people out of like half the money for the same venue. Well, it's just how it's negotiated. Oh, okay. Huh. That teaches me a lot about this business. Okay. Got it. CFO Harris always told me, never let anybody tell you what you're worth. If you're worth the conversation, it's because they know they can make money off of what you do. I just gave y'all a gem from a CFO. Y'all better listen. You think with the game, Pi says, speaking against reparations is anti-black hate. Speaking against our justice is hate. Those who speak against our claim is deemed violent toward us. Facts. Pi 180. Yes, indeed. I totally agree. Graceland is still making paper. What, man? Rose City, boy. I'm trying to get up out of here, boy. You just brought that right back to my mind. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. These other people are making money hand over fist, but they try to get everything up out of black folks. And truth be told, on that R. Kelly thing, man, y'all better make sure that brother is safe from prison, I guess, because I don't know if them folks gonna try to wait. I mean, just think, man, I hate to say it, but let's just look at the dynamics. The whole thing about the Jackson children, I guess that's the big question mark. They're like, they ain't got that man blood. But, so I don't know. I mean, maybe they are. Hopefully they cool and out of harm's way by these weirdos. But I just look at, like, in these other situations, you got some heirs. You might want to, be a little extra vigilant and extra cautious. I'll just put it like that. When there are people who can make claims to rights and royalties, like a Bobby Christina, who can get some residuals from 60 million sold here, 100 million sold there. And I will always love paper, because somebody's getting money off of that record. Notice, Whitney gone, daughter gone. Bill Cosby, son gone. You got rid of his heir before you could even figure out how you was going to try to do him out of his paper. So just look at how you seen it. It would have been the other way around. So if they could have got Bill out, then they would have went and said, okay, clock is ticking on Ennis. They just did this one in reverse. So when people tell you about these demonic entities, and so I don't really look at Kanye as being full-blown crazy, but I do believe he's unraveling of some sort with probably that hereditary or whatever is going on there issue mentally or emotionally. And then also couple that with some of the things he's been around, because, in some environments, the spiritual energy that you're around, and so that the spiritual energy that some of these people keep around, man, you don't know who the hell he done had in his home, who done been putting, who knows what in his and around his home. You know how y'all be saging around your house? Who knows what they done had off up in his house? I will tell you this before I go. Let me get up out of here. I'll tell you this story. I know that there's a picture that he looked at to draw inspiration from to write the record Mercy. So when I absolutely see all of this happen, I just can't help but remember the line, I'll buy your apartment and sleep in the lobby. Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. And that's been my 2 cents on Kanye West. Because what he thought is not his reality. I guess Jermaine Jackson always has said it best. Don't take it personal. Take the bitter with the sweet. Because good things come to an end. You lost your woman, and now you lost your billionaire status. Back to being a regular nigga. And now you're about to have all of kind of lawsuits, I would assume, coming out the woodwork. This, that, or the other, and you done this or done that. Or you'll have to be tied up legally, spending buku bucks, buying specialists for this case, getting this for that case, just to keep your own stuff. It is never good to go against your own. because now you're seeing what a broken tool looks like. And all you'll ever have to do is look at the mirror. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at beatzillapdx. Hey, Deneen Soul in the house. Hey, excellent program. Brilliant. Black first. Thank you so much. Rose City said those Kardashians are a covenant bunch of witches. I don't disagree. And of course, y'all can follow me on Patreon, beatzillapdx official, and on Melanated People at Michael Beatzilla Whitmore. Of course, you can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That's ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined and you enjoy this content that you are getting right here and you like the breakdowns we do here and the conversations we have, you can definitely help support this channel by first hitting the like button. That is absolutely free. If you're watching the replay, you can hit that like button. Don't cost you a thing. But if you want to go further than the like button, you most definitely can by way of super thanks, super chat. We have the donations in the ticker. The first one, of course, is CashApp. That is $ beatzillapdx. CashApp $ beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal. That is Zilla Muzak. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And with that being said, family, we will be back Friday for the weekly wrap up. Matter of fact, my brother Black Alpha, I believe, is supposed to be uploading his video tomorrow. So stay tuned because I'll probably post that in my community tab, the video that me and him and Kid Gravity did. And so that you don't want to miss that. And then, of course, I will be look out for your notifications. I think we might be doing a late night ride for the the space replay. I'm thinking I might do something for my late night riders this weekend. So be looking for that. You know, that might be like a 3 a.m. for Friday, which would technically be Saturday morning. We might do that. You know what I'm saying? Especially for those of y'all who be up. Some of y'all be getting off of that last shift. And, while you're getting home and getting ready to get into bed, you can go ahead and put that space on and hear black folks chop it up. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, thank you so much. Let's see. I'm pretty sure that is everything that I needed to tell you. Let me see. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, we will be back Friday. Oh, yeah. Real quick, before I go, family, did y'all see this?
I have not made that formal decision, but it's my intention. My intention to run again. And we have time to make that decision.
Dr. Biden is for it. Mr. President. Oh.
Dr. Biden thinks that, my wife thinks that we're doing something very important.
Wow. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be thinking about running again. Just a little bit of thought, I'm just saying, probably might want to just take a pass on that. That's just me, though. So, like I said, family, stay tuned. And if you have not already hit the notification bell to hit the word all, you should do so. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel uploads a video, premieres a video, or goes live like we are right now. So until Friday, family, or until the next video, by the way, stay posted on the community tab. We will be talking to you. So stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No.
the stone of truth. See, that's what you throw.
Right.
Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knocked out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.